Welcome to the High Contrast Podcast. That's not the camera. That's my light. Welcome to the High Contrast. Welcome to the High Contrast Podcast. I'm Eric,
I'm Will.
and we are here talking about Fantastic Four.
Wait a minute. I'm in the wrong timeline. I gotta go. What is that?
Um, that is Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay. Oh, that one. Oh,
Yeah.
I've never seen those 20 years on or whatever. I still haven't seen them.
Oh, okay. That's fine. I literally just had him on here because that seems like it's like the event of the season that Marvel and DC both within 2 weeks of each other decided to put their first, properties out
Yeah.
in the midst of trying to rebuild investment from audiences in their ongoing universes. It's like this really interesting time for both of them to trigger to kind of restart what they're doing. And I know you haven't seen Fantastic Four, but I got to tell you, that was an interesting and super weird movie in a good way. Like
Okay.
they live in an alternate Earth where the entirety of the Earth just accepts that they are the smartest people and the heroes and know what's best for everybody. Like they run the United Nations and they like run
What the hell?
everything. It's really weird. It's really weird. It's really cool. And the whole thing is about Franklin Richards, their baby.
Hmm. Oh,
And
because it's called First Steps. Okay, I didn't make that
yeah,
connection. Okay.
yeah. So yeah, wild. Not what I expected, but they nailed the cast. I don't care what anyone says about Pedro Pascal, other than the fact that I agree that it's kind of creepy that he's doing his anxiety being touched by women thing. But um, he's got this thing. He's got anxiety. So when he was on, it started coming out during the Last of Us Part Two press tour that he's like has this like touch calming thing with
Hmm.
for some of his actors where they will like hold his hand or something like that in interviews and stuff and it helps him ground when nervous. But with Vanessa Kirby there's like this montage going around of how like, well, she's married and she's like fawning all over him, kind of like touching him very like caringly, like a Sue Storm Reed Richards thing. And I'm just like, can we let the drama unfold when the drama unfolds, not when it's, whatever. People are gonna
Hmm.
people. So
Yeah.
no, we're here to talk about Superman. We're here to talk about the kickstart of the DCU, not the DCEU. And yeah. So I don't have any other Superman standalone
Oh,
movie
sure.
to put up. So, I'm not gonna be here like, Zack Snyder versus what do you call it? I don't care. Um I
The
think it
new
is
guy, James Gunn.
James Gunn. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't care about that. I'm just interested in James Gunn doing what he's doing. And this was a James Gunn movie, head to toe. Will, what did you think of Superman?
So I don't want to. All right, hang on. You're getting a whole lecture.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, you are, and you are too, but not just yet. Just to start with, movies over the last couple of decades, especially comic book movies, have been like, oh, let's quip at each other and let's be a little cynical. And at the risk of not being cynical in any way, I loved this movie. Um, I'm a fan of Superman as it is. I am going to tear up during this, by the way. Yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Because to me, there's an old Tumblr post, I don't know, about it's about religion, but I'm going to co-opt it for Superman. Um, Superman makes me want to be a better person because there's this old Tumblr post about like how a religion professor told his students is like, well, atheists are are better people because there is no God to them and they will help someone. And he says, if you see someone in need, you need to become an atheist because You cannot say God will help them. I will help them. Superman isn't real. And that means when someone needs something, you have to help them. Um, I didn't know I was going to say all this when I got on here. None of this was planned, but this movie was like unapologetically positive when it came to Superman,
Mhm.
and I loved that. There was some quipping and everything, but none of it was like, oh, we secretly hate each other quipping, and none of it was like,
Yeah, it wasn't at the expense of sincerity.
right. Like I see that little green dude on your desk, and a character similar to him has some dialogue that is like he's like the kind of like quippy, like I'm kind of a curmudgeon guy, but even then it's not like
Yeah.
embarrassing. He even is sincere in his curmudgeonness,
Hmm.
and I love that.
Yeah.
And
Every character in this movie, uh, like most of the central characters, demonstrate a passion for an ideal. Uh,
yep.
Guy Gardner, for all of his like, oh, I'm using my oath to conveniently dismiss things I don't want to do, is still the person who is trying to form the Justice Gang and is like trying to head start that, the thing. Hot Girl demonstrates her compassion against the warlord, in that thing. Mr. Terrific is so heavily invested. He's in this, world not being split into. Lois Lane stands her ground hard against Superman and develops her character. Everyone in this movie is fiercely passionate for something.
Yeah. Even Lex Luthor, I mean, for all the wrong reasons, he is, and
And he
straight
knows
up
it.
straight up tells Superman, "You're better than me, and that's why I hate you. You were born better than me, and that's why I hate you."
Yeah.
And you know, we're gonna have to get political at some point because this movie is drenched in political timeliness.
Timeliness. I think this movie could have existed exactly as it was in a vacuum, and if it wasn't for the fact that it is tied to so many things that happen to be happening politically, I don't think this movie was written to touch on issues that are political. I just think it was written based on the world we live in to be relatable, and that happens to make it political.
Intensely relatable.
Yeah,
And I'm so God. I am not. Don't worry.
I am
I'm so
so God.
I am so God. I am glad that it is brazen enough to not be subtle about it. I don't think it's beating you over the head with a hammer, but it is like, hey, he says, I hate you because you're an alien and you're better than me. Has anyone mentioned aliens lately?
Yeah,
Perhaps using another word like immigrant
yeah,
lately? Like it's so on the nose, but in the best way possible. Because
yeah,
sometimes people don't, you can't give people subtlety and expect them to understand the message. Sometimes you have to be like, look at it.
yeah.
Uh
Well, but that's the thing, is it's so true, and that's the crazy thing to me about this movie is it feels like it was true blue, everything Superman. I can't imagine what would be in a sequel, a direct sequel, a Superman 2, because they threw everything in this movie that could have to do with Superman,
yeah,
everything. And apart from like he has to fight Darkseid, which is usually a Justice League thing, or Brainiac, which is really just more of the same brain versus brawn kind of stuff. Like,
right.
Bizarro, they technically put Bizarro in there. They like everything. And in doing that, it spoke to themes and things that have existed in Superman forever.
Hmm.
And it's one of those things, it's this meme that's going around where it's like Star Trek isn't woke now, X-Men isn't woke now, Superman isn't woke now. You just grew up to be a bad person.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Absolutely. Like Star Trek, bro. I've been watching Star Trek most of my life, only really like seriously watching it for the last decade or so.
uh-huh.
There is an episode about whether or not Data is a person.
Yeah.
Holy shit. There's an episode where Data creates his own child and the ethical ramifications of an artificial being creating another artificial being.
Hmm.
There's an episode about abortion in Star Trek.
Yeah.
And it's insane. And yeah, exactly. You just grew up to be a bad person.
Yeah, or just like you just missed the point. You just took away. It feels like everyone growing up talking about like who would win, Goku versus Superman. Like I never expected
Superman.
them. I never
Oh,
expected.
sorry.
I never. I never expected people to actually be only taking that away from what they were watching. You know,
Right.
like and it's fascinating to me because I was never interested in those conversations coming up. Like I'm always interested in like the stories and that the characters
Right.
represented, and like to not take the meaning to think like Lex Luthor has felt the same about Superman in Batman versus Superman, felt the same about Superman in Superman Returns when he was Kevin Spacey, who we don't talk about. And
Forgot
uh
about that.
like it's it's funny because they what they kind of did with Lex Luthor in like Superman Returns, for example, he's all about I'm gonna create my own land mass and it's gonna be Lex Luthor land and I'm gonna, do that. He's doing that again in this movie. They just shift the spotlight from his scheme to create Luthor land to uh his deep personal hatred for Superman. And it's interesting to me because of the obvious like Israel parallels of like the conflict that Superman intervened in with Baravia and which drove me freaking crazy because I've been running Curse of Strahd for like 2 years and that takes place
Yeah.
that takes place in the land of Barovia. And so when I saw that I was like, yeah, like knee jerk, yeah, vampires, what? But uh
Only metaphorically.
yeah,
Vampires.
like Lex Luthor pitting two countries with this like multi-billion dollar like allegiance and funding a side of a war so that he can end up owning territory. Like that's a Lex Luthor plot. If people think they created that because of what is happening now, you missed
Yeah.
the point. Like that's who Lex Luthor always has been.
And they've always been the bad guy.
Yeah.
They it's funny to me the number of people that grew up watching and consuming the same media I did reach a different conclusion,
Mhm.
such as like watching Captain Planet and understanding, yes, the Earth is important. It's the only place we can live. We can literally cannot live anywhere else. We need to keep it safe. And then growing up and being like, well, maybe climate change isn't real. Like, did you what? How? How did you get where you are?
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I like this movie.
Uh Vine, freaking
Oh.
bats. I love Halloween. Uh,
Me too.
that's my nod to Batman. They got Superman, Batman. The only thing I don't have here is Wonder Woman. So, um, which it was interesting to me. This movie was hardcore Superman. They didn't touch anything from Wonder Woman or Batman with a 10-foot pole. Like, would you think Wayne Enterprises would be all about? Like, like there's a war going on and trade and things like that. You think instead of just the Daily Bugle discovering Lex Luthor's plot because of that fantastically done. The performance of this girl, I don't let me look up her name. Jimmy Olsen's uh
Situationship.
situationship. Like I loved that the way they found it out. I mean, I think it would have been much more realistic for it to be like Batman is out there among the Justice Gang, but he's not really part of the Justice Gang discovering, what Lex Luthor's plot is. I mean, it would have made a lot of sense in a world where you're supposed to have all the heroes already operating a la Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl. But no, I gotta shout this girl out because that like I love the actor who plays Jimmy Olsen. I think he was born to be Jimmy Olsen. He's like the perfect one. But that subplot is sold hard by Yeah, I think Sarah Sampaio. She's brunette in her picture, but she's blonde in the movie. Yeah, that's her. Uh, Fantastic job playing just slightly unhinged, but somehow still coordinated enough to be in the room with Lex Luthor. Like that was great. Um,
I also like how they flipped Jimmy Olsen a little bit because Jimmy Olsen has been the dweeby Superman fanboy in every other piece of media, and now he's like the every woman wants to be with Jimmy Olsen guy, and he's tired of it. I and
he's
that
like
I
Archie from the comics.
yeah
It's
they and but then it became thematically relevant even
yeah,
of like this woman is so desperate to get Jimmy Olsen that she will text pictures of the villain's plot to him.
yeah.
Spoiler, sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
why
there,
have you not watched Superman?
I'm pretty sure this is a movie that you can't spoil. There is one major spoiler having to do with Superman's parents that I think would be like, what? Like that's like a revelation that you wouldn't want, like, it's like a twist you wouldn't want someone to just
Mm.
tell you about beforehand. But I also really want to talk about it. So spoiler alert, spoiler warning. Three, two, one. Yeah, what up? How do you feel about Bradley Cooper playing his dad? That was the twist of the century. I was like,
I
what
was
the
like,
hell?
is that Bradley Cooper? I
Yeah.
sat there. It's like, I wasn't sure for a while. And then it was like, yeah, and that's for sure Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. Rocket
Uh,
Raccoon. Hmm.
and then Peacemaker. I loved the Peacemaker cameo.
Yeah.
John Cena is just chilling in this absurd, stupid outfit on a talk show. And Michael Ian Black, he's been gone too long. He's really funny. And
What did he do? I missed him.
he was the Sphere talk show host, like the Sphere Network
Oh,
or
right,
whatever.
right, 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 right. Yeah.
He was the guy at the end, and it there's
Wait,
so much in this movie. He was the one that was like, we should have seen this coming. We've had him on the show before, like,
yeah, yeah.
and how
Flip flop.
media companies like that will just drop a narrative to follow whatever suits them best.
Yeah.
God, oh man, there's only one thing that I felt like they could have done better.
I was joking,
Uh,
by the way. Bradley Cooper's not the twist. It's that his parents wanted him to be an evil overlord. Anyways, go ahead.
oh right, yeah, sorry, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I meant to bring up earlier is that like the point of Superman in this movie is choosing who you want to be
Yeah.
and who you are born as versus who you are raised as
Nature
versus
versus
who you
nurture.
choose is all different.
Mhm.
Um, like in how his parents that raised, oh, the God Almighty, the thing at the end
Yeah.
with where would you like to see footage of your parents again?
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Makes absolutely no sense, but amazing.
Because every other time it was his birth parents. And
No, because they wouldn't have that footage.
he took the Super 8s and the VHSs and everything and he uploaded them to the
But who was like recording?
Krypton
Like,
cloud.
yeah. I mean, I
Well,
guess
no,
they're
I
all
mean
like
I
family
don't
home
think
movies.
yeah, I don't think at any point both parents are in the footage, you know? So like it's
Okay.
not like Uncle Bob was over there with the
Yeah.
camcorder.
I just that's the thing to me about this movie. This movie and Fantastic Four have this thing going where it's like you understand comic book movie language. So now we are going to play to what emotionally works over what logically makes sense. Do you want to watch footage of your childhood? Yes. Watch all the videos at once and try and
Oh,
absorb them. Like that's a little bit. He's just smiling, looking at like of all this different, but like it works. Like we get it. And it's stronger than if you just watched like one video and then another, or if they did like through the credits, they did all his family home movies or something like that. Like it, the music, the needle drop over that is just perfect, which I also appreciate James Gunn for withholding a little bit on the needle drops and sticking to an orchestral score so that they kind of hit harder when they came.
yeah,
But
there's only a couple of like musical moments and they're very
mhm.
well done. Like when Mr. Terrific arrives at the camp. And then the end, I think that's really it. Like there's
Yeah.
only the two, like the music is the focal point moments.
Yeah.
And that's really well done. There's still a lot of CG vomit, which is what I call
Yeah.
things like that. It is generally good. The only one that's like I it's done pretty well, but even so, it's kind of hard to tell what's going on. And that's like the Proton River fight where they're all like tumbling around in the river. It's
Yeah.
like, man, I am having a hard time following what's happening. And that's
They,
what
someone brought it up with the Adventures of Tintin, this concept of an orgy of movement. The way that they could
yeah.
artificially string shots along for so long and things would continually track. Like your eye never gets the break of a cut. And like you're constantly moving. It's like tiring. Yeah.
It's and to steal from Mr. Plinkett, like, oh, that opening shot from episode 3 was all one take. Yeah, but except it's CG. Like there's no
Yeah.
effort there. The camera's virtual. But there was Mortal Kombat 2, the Mortal Kombat movie that no one saw, is getting a sequel.
Yeah.
And I did love the Johnny Cage trailer. But
Yeah.
then the real trailer, like the full trailer, features this moment where Scorpion like throws out his harpoon and then runs around like in a big circle thing.
Yeah.
And I turned to my wife and I was like, I know somebody was really proud of that. I can't tell what the hell is happening in that shot. Like that is completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
Sorry, but before I forget, the only thing that I feel Superman was missing is all those people working for Lex Luthor and joyfully winning their fights against Superman. You would say, well, why would you do that as a person? Money. Because in a capitalist society, your principles take a backseat to having to survive and make money in capitalism. That's why they're doing that, is because Luthor is paying them good money to do it. So I think there could have been a little more of like explaining why these people would be joyfully trying to take down Superman
Mm.
at the risk of just literally destroying the world,
Mm.
is because of money. Because that's literally what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Literally destroying the world to make a few more dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, another big spoiler: Sean Gunn was in fact in this movie
As Maxwell Lord.
as Maxwell Lord. Who I saw that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw that and I was like, huh. I bet that's significant, but I have no idea who Maxwell Lord is.
So he was Pedro Pascal in Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All
And
right.
the one of the key things, this is my wife who pointed this out to me, which is why it is I have to put a button in this, but um he's infamous for Wonder Woman making her stand against Batman and Superman and saying like, you guys don't do what's necessary, I do, and she kills him.
Mm.
And so who does he cast Sean Gunn as in his expansive universe? It's like,
Uh-huh.
oh gosh, there's like a target on his face. Like, um,
I did not know that.
yeah. Yeah, Wonder Woman kills. She's that's I am so fascinated. Like this movie got me really just hyped about this movie because I know they're taking a different approach to tonally linking the movies. Like James Gunn pulled up this idea of like if you look at this spread of comic books, you see different artists' interpretations, wildly different tones among things. And yes, these characters exist in the same universe, but that does not mean they all have to feel like Marvel linked similar
Yeah.
universes where they show up side by side. And so I don't think that one project necessarily will get you hyped for expectations for another one, like a Clayface horror movie or Supergirl, which are both the next movies that are coming out.
Oh, I didn't know that about Clayface.
Yeah. What's happening is they're refusing to, James Gunn is refusing to greenlight projects until he reads a script that he's happy with.
Oh, right, because he's in charge now. I forgot about that. He's literally running
Yeah.
DC Studios, right?
Yeah,
Like,
this was like if Kevin Feige made the Fantastic Four movie, like that. Yeah, and that had me really worried. I talked about this a few episodes back or at some point, James Gunn cares about the characters he cares about, and the characters that he doesn't particularly have like a passion for in the comics, like Drax the Destroyer or Adam Warlock, they get shifted and warped into whatever he thinks will be an interesting character.
Right.
And so, he has passion for Superman, but he doesn't necessarily have passion for Jor-El or Krypton or the home planet or that mythology. So he just takes that liberty and makes it into what he wants. And I was really worried in a movie that covered so many characters, Mr. Terrific, Hawkgirl, Green Lantern in this, like it does seem like he picked characters he cared about and he really like brought them to life. But I was like, is Superman gonna be Superman in a way that like he's passionate about him? And I think the answer is yes.
Oh yeah.
But would I want to see James Gunn direct like the next Batman movie, the next Wonder Woman movie? Like, no. And I'm really excited to see what the individual creators' takes on those movies are. Um,
Mm.
I want
What
to see the Batman movie that's in this universe pretty badly.
it would be a very interesting juxtaposition, I think, because Batman has been serious since the 80s, is what I
Mhm.
would say.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, kind of. The thing is, there is a long streak of successful DC properties of holding Batman in animated shows and movies where yes, his world is darker and it is Art Deco goth experience, like it is what it is. But he exists in a Justice League cartoon where he is like a brooding character who kind of stands apart from the Justice League. He is a detective, but he is still like a stand-up hero. He's not this vigilante that's constantly bordering on the crisis of am I going to cross over into the dark or not? Like not always. And I feel like what we're going to get is a Batman that is more suited to those animated outings where he is himself. And I think this is the thing because the movie that's being made is called Batman Brave and the Bold. Damian Wayne,
no, no
da-
way.
Damian Wayne is Robin.
Okay.
And so we're automatically going to get Batman where the Bat family exists with all the other Robins, Nightwing, everybody is out there. So it's not going to be Christian Bale brooding with Alfred in a cave about how he's on his last legs and maybe he's going to die if he fights Bane and all that. Like it's going to be the world's greatest detective.
Right.
You
And
know,
I think that's very interesting.
yeah,
I was thinking the irony of how long Batman's ears get and how serious things are. Like, because
yeah, the
Christian Bale
most serious Batman.
Well, no, I was thinking Christian Bale's was like so serious, but he has like the big.
Oh no, you got a good point because I have all of the Batman uh like figures from each one. Except for I really need to upgrade the Val Kilmer one because it's like a tiny little like 90s toy. But the longest ears is Batman and Robin.
Mm, okay, so maybe there's not a direct correlation between the ears and the seriousness because or maybe you're right. Maybe it's the other way around where
Batman v
like because
Superman, and
Pat
then
Battinson with a
the
really short one.
Batman.
Yeah, he has a little tiny ears. Yeah, maybe it's the opposite. But then yeah, I think it's really interesting making it a detective movie. Like he's a super intelligent, super driven person. Honestly, now that we're talking about this, a Superman movie where this detective shows up, where Batman shows up as a secondary character, I think would be really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it
Um,
would have been again, I think it would have been cool. Like I love what they did with the Jimmy Olsen plot and the Daily Planet being what they're being, but I think it would have been really interesting to have, you know, Batman on the ground investigating, collecting the evidence, and then he's like, get it to Lois Lane, get it out.
yeah, I will say I'm glad they didn't. I think this should
Yeah,
have been just a Superman movie, and it
yeah.
was.
And it branched, I think it only branched as far out as it needed to go to establish that in Superman's world, he deals with the Justice League.
The Justice Gang.
The Justice Gang.
That's so silly, and I love because it is silly, but it is played totally straight.
Yeah.
Like And when I say it's played straight, there's jokes about it, but it is like that's our name. Like that's what we're going with right now.
Yeah.
Like we're the Justice Gang, and some people hate it. Guy Gardner likes it, and I love that. Like that moment is so dumb, and it is kind of like that quippy, stupid thing I mentioned, but it was so well done that I
Yeah.
despite myself liked it when Adam, what is he called, the alien rock man,
Metamorpho.
Metamorpho,
Yeah.
he was like, oh, maybe I could join your group, and Guy Gardner's like, I don't know, man, and then somebody
Justice
says,
Gang?
he's like, oh,
That's
that's a cool name.
awesome.
Oh, you're in.
You're in.
I have so much to say. I keep thinking of more things. Guy
Yeah,
Gardner,
because this movie was packed. This was an there was
well
like
packed. Yeah.
James Gunn was like, if I only get one movie to establish the universe that I'm gonna get, because that's the thing about this movie that people have to keep in mind is there's only one canon project in his universe that came out before this movie, and it's Creature Commandos, the animated series, which Frank Grillo voiced
Oh yeah.
Rick Flag Sr., and he came into this movie and did that. But that's the only one. Peacemaker season one does not count. Peacemaker season
Hmm.
two will count.
Interesting. Okay.
So even Peacemaker coming from the Suicide Squad, that is not canon to this. And as they say in the beginning, like Bloodshot from the Suicide Squad, Idris Elba, is in prison for having shot Superman with a kryptonite bullet and having taken him out. But the beginning of this movie automatically retcons that with 3 minutes ago, he lost his first fight.
Right.
Like they establish his whole history. So the Suicide Squad, no longer canon. Amanda Waller is going to be the same actress. John Cena is going to be the same for Peacemaker. There are characters that are going to carry over, but Creature Commandos and Superman are the actual beginning. Only that stuff is
Mhm.
currently in it. And then Peacemaker season two will be next, and then Supergirl, and then Clayface, and then so on and so forth.
You
But
mentioned
he was like, everything.
is that well actually it makes me think of two things. It makes me think of everyone
Everyone.
from Leon the Professional, which if you haven't seen it, it's incredible even with some of the ickier things. But it also makes me think of Fire Everything
Yeah.
from Star
The
Trek
Last Jedi.
2009. No, no,
Oh,
no.
Star Trek 2000.
2009, yeah, where he's like they're trying to shoot the doo doo hopper. What is it
Yeah,
called?
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
The little ship. He's like fire everything.
Yeah.
There's also that moment where it sounds like he's saying the F word, but he's saying Spock. Spock. There's so many weird things in that movie. There's my brother and I. My brother and I. There's this moment where Christopher Pike rolls up because he's injured now. He's in a wheelchair. Um, he's there's this exchange where he says, "I relieve you of command," and they're handing over command to Kirk. And Christopher Pike rolls up and he says, "I am relieved." And it's
Yeah.
so cheesy. My
Yeah.
brother and I will say that to each other even now, 16 years later. I am relieved. So shut up. Anyway, you mentioned something else that I really like because it ends hard the trend from mid 2000s movies to as recent as a few years ago, I think. It ends that trend of like we have to explain who this superhero character is and where he comes from and make this movie 3 hours long. Because if you compare this to Man of Steel, where it shows him growing up in Kansas and it spends like 30 to 45 minutes on that, this movie starts with 30 years ago, there was a thing. 30 months ago, this happened. And, you know, like that narrowing, I love that.
Yeah.
3 minutes ago, he just lost his first fight. And like, it's like, okay, you know everything you need to know.
Mhm.
Let's get into it. He's hurt real bad. Okay, good. You know. And the other thing is like how new this was. I didn't think they were going to do it, But I had to ask myself, are they just going to kill Lex Luthor? Like,
Yeah.
because this movie is like so fresh and like not like trying to sequel bait. It's just like, this is a story about Superman. Here's the story. Well, are they going to kill Lex Luthor? They
No,
straight up
it's
murked that other guy. Hawk Girl drops him from
yes.
300 feet in the air or whatever.
Yes. Like maybe Guy Gardner would kill Lex Luthor. Yes.
Mm,
But
that's what I was going to say. When this movie is so packed with stuff, Guy Gardner is a good guy because like he feels like he has to be.
yeah,
And like even his green, what are the manifestations, I guess? Like our middle fingers when
constructs.
he's
Yeah.
constructs, when he's flipping those tanks over, they're all like this, like coming out of the ground. It was like, oh my God, that's so, it feels genuine. Like, and I
Yeah.
think that's the important thing about quips versus things like that is that feels like what the character would actually do.
Hmm.
Because, like, to me, I will say this is totally just me. Captain America isn't a quipper. To me, Captain America is like, are you serious right now? We don't have time for quips. Like we justice.
Language.
Right. Like that I think is fine. But then like that's America's ass or something, you know, like
Yeah,
him
yeah.
responding to that's funny, but like
But it's earned over like 10 years. So
that's true. But I still think Captain America wouldn't do that. Guy Gardner absolutely would do the middle finger thing like
yeah.
over those tanks. And it feels like you remember, I'm going to say something here. Do you remember Fuck Batman?
Uh uh was it just called Titans?
Yeah, something
Uh
like that.
where that actor that I really like, whose career has currently gone nowhere, who was in Pirates of the Caribbean 5, is
Oh,
Robin.
Jeffrey Rush. Oh, sorry.
Yes, Jeffrey Rush.
Jeffrey Rush was Robin.
Uh,
Fuck Batman.
but yeah, no, yeah, the edge lord, like, yeah,
That's exactly it. It's the edge lord thing. That's not genuine. That
no,
doesn't feel real.
yeah,
Guy Gardner, that does feel real. Like
yeah,
him just being like, yeah, I'm a good guy, but God, it's so exhausting. Like, yeah, we're the Justice Gang. I don't care.
yeah,
Whatever. But then, like, he is a good person because, like, the scene where it's revealed, like, what his parents, the rest of their message was, and Superman like goes into that building alone. Guy Gardner comes in, sees everybody gawking at him, and just like puts up that wall. Nobody can see him anymore. I
yeah,
was like, dude, that's a real dude. That's a real friend.
mm-hmm,
That's real.
mm-hmm,
And that okay, people curse and people talk about bodily functions. People talk about sex in a movie. I think this goes back to what I was saying about like wink. Like sometimes people will talk about those things or do those things in a comic book movie, and it's like, oh, well, it's like played for laughs and everything. But this just felt like real.
yeah,
Like again, going back to when Hawk Girl killed that guy, it it wasn't like a big like, oh my gosh, she killed somebody moment. It was like, I'm not Superman.
snap, yeah,
Bye. It all the dialogue, everything characters did, it felt as if they would actually do those things.
yeah,
And but it also felt if they were in our world, they would actually behave like this because they talked like human beings. They acted like human beings.
mm-hmm.
Even though some of them were not born human beings, which
yeah,
is the point of this movie.
yep, yep,
I
yep,
had,
yep.
I did think that was a little cheesy.
What?
The speech by Superman at the end.
No, man. Like, I don't think he had been cheesy enough by that point. I thought that
Yeah, he
was
is a cheesy
what I was
guy,
hoping for. Yeah.
and I did like some kind of interdimensional thing. I don't know. They got it. Like when he's like just sitting down, all tired, and they're outside the window, like dealing with what looks like a world-ending abomination. and Superman is just hanging out in his apartment. Like,
Yes,
oh God. And
they've
that's
got it.
yeah, that was the first reveal poster, I think, was David Corenswet like angrily putting on his boots while
Yeah,
like a
just like
big alien was outside.
dejectedly.
It's kind of thing. But yeah, it's like they have Lois and Superman have this genuine loving moment while all that is happening outside the window.
Oh yeah.
I
Dude, I
loved it.
love I'm curious about one thing, and this is one of those things where it's like it's a comic book movie, just move on, you know how this works. But I love the build of Lois and Clark's relationship that like she points out like Clark's hokiness and idealism like does not gel with Lois Lane's view of the world, and her thinking that they wouldn't work, but her constantly like becoming in love with his ideals for the world and like the idea that they are not the same but that they complement each other in the way she
Mm.
tries to ground him and the way he tries to like prop her up. I really adored the way they built their relationship. The one thing I will say is it makes it really confusing to me how they came to be in a relationship because he had to reveal to her that he was Superman in a way that like may not have been before they may have been before they were dating. Like I don't think she fell in love with Clark and then he was like, "Well, let me tell you something. I'm Superman." And then she's like, "Oh, I'm going to keep that secret." It feels like a weird stretch to me, you know.
Honestly, I got headcanon. Lois figured it out. Then they
Yeah.
started dating. And because like she's such a canny reporter that in my head she was like, Clark, I gotta talk to you about something. Can I
Yeah.
talk to you about something?
Yeah.
Are you Superman? And you know, like he's not gonna be able, like the first time somebody confronts him with that, he's not gonna be able to like do like he's not gonna be able to
Yeah.
convincingly refute that.
And I believe enough in this Lois Lane that Superman is doing enough good and people like him so much that she's not going to immediately out his secret identity and out
Sure.
him. Like, but it just if I'm really curious to see like a one shot of their first date.
Oh yeah, that would be
Like
cool.
a little they used to call them one shots in Marvel when they did like little
Yeah, something
bits
funny happened on the way to
on the way
Force
to Thor's
Hammer,
hammer. Yeah.
which is great. Like when the guys are robbing the place, he was like, "Oh, what are you doing back there?" It's like, "Oh, nothing. I have this gun. Do you guys do you guys think you should take this from me?" um, but I laughed a second ago, and it's because there was this moment in this movie that was unflinchingly real,
Mhm.
and that's when Mali is kidnapped by Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor starts to interrogate him and straight up murders him on camera.
Yes.
It was horrible and very visceral and very real. And yes, that's happening around the world right now. Why am I laughing? Because I thought of the most comical response Superman could have to something. Because Lex Luthor says, I'll find somebody else. Maybe that Clark Kent
Clark
that
Kent.
keeps interviewing you. And I imagine Superman, like in under the influence of kryptonite, being like, "Joke's on you."
Yeah. Like I know what the emotion that is supposed to convey, I believe, is oh no, he's going to find out Clark Kent is Superman.
Right.
But that
Yeah.
is not what comes across at all.
It's like you're already killing him
Yeah,
right now. You're
it's
doing
like
it.
it's like I'm gonna go after Clark Kent. And it's like it just rings so weird because Lex Luthor, like Lois Lane
Smartest
figured
man in the
out.
world.
Yes, it's like didn't click for him, like it's just
Oh
interesting.
yeah, Lois was like, how often is Clark Kent going to interview you?
Yeah, right.
Like,
Somebody's gonna figure it out, like maybe the smartest man in the world. But
it does
but no,
okay,
yeah.
but then they allude to the glasses being like special. Like,
So apparently this is a thing from the comics that has been brought up, but maybe it was a little too sci-fi for people to lean into it before. But the glasses are made from glass from his ship. from when he was a baby.
Mm.
And so when people look at him, they have this distorted image of him. Like he doesn't actually look 100%. Like I wish the movie had done one subjective shot where we see him look just like a little warped, a little less like Superman-y or whatever to see what they see.
He was different. And this is the thing. Human beings actually kind of suck at
Yeah, yeah.
faces and people. Superman in the original Superman movies, like with Christopher Reeve, one big thing was his hair. He would part his hair on the other side and wear glasses and act different, which honestly would work. There's some fascinating videos about something called change blindness,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
people signed up for a
people
university study.
go up, have someone walk in between them with a board,
Well, that was one thing. What I'm thinking
talk
of
to a
is
totally
like,
different person.
right. So like I'm here in a green shirt and I'm like, oh, let me get you the form. And I'll bend down behind the desk, and someone else in a red shirt that only vaguely looks like me will be like, here you go. And people will be like, oh, okay, thanks. And
Yeah.
like, and not realize that they're talking to a completely different person.
Hmm.
So, I mean, people, and in this movie, his hair is very different. Like when he's
Yeah, yeah.
Clark Kent, he kind of has like the Gen Z, like
Broccoli
big
hair.
curls on
Yeah.
top and short sides thing going on, and then he does it completely. And
Which
he's doing this goofy ass, like slightly deeper voice thing. He sounds like Elizabeth Holmes from Theranos when he's
which
Clark Kent.
fun fact is apparently just David Cornsweet's normal hair. Like when they dress him up for Superman, they have to like slick his hair down, but when it's not dressed up for Superman, like they didn't have to do a wig or a different like style or anything like that. Like they just, like so in the hairdressing thing, the way he has the Superman curl,
Yeah.
like that's just naturally what his hair does. They didn't have to do too much
Oh
to
wow.
like, yeah, gel or shape it. Um, well, we're gonna probably get into more points as we go, but I'm gonna jump through critics critique real quick
Oh
for
yeah. Right.
Superman
Yeah.
2025. Cinema score is an A minus.
Okay.
I can see I can see where there are people who would have nitpicks, like you're throwing a whole universe at someone. There are some people who have problems with the home planet retcon thing, and like,
No, no, Krypton.
yeah, oh,
No, it was a retcon. It's a stupid joke. Go on.
and um, I can see how people would like mark it a little bit. Like some people are marking it an A, some people are marking it a B. It ends up an A minus. I can see that happening.
Mhm.
Um, Metacritic, oh, 68 out of 100
What?
based on 58 critic reviews. 7.4 user score out of 1,444. So audience is higher than the critics. Fascinating. Positives: Superman is wonderfully entertaining, heartfelt cinematic reset for the Man of Steel, a great new start for the DC universe. Uh, a mid rating, Little White Lies. There's promise here, a broader cinematic universe that feels cohesive, filled with amusing cameos, and for the first time in years, a DCU that feels like it has a faint pulse. All are very welcome. But whenever the film strains to address big ideas, it's painful.
Uh-huh.
Gotta disagree, because again, I don't
What?
think the point was to address the big ideas, and even then, I still feel like it was successful.
Well, now hang on. To me, the point of this movie wasn't big ideas. The point was
Right.
small ideas having big impact.
Yeah. And then negative review: by the movie's merciful end, you wonder what a nice guy like Superman is doing in a mean place like this.
His planet blew up, friend.
Larson on film. Larson on film. I I think you're an interesting anomaly, and I would like to hear more from you, Josh Larson, because you are the only person I can imagine who went from the Snyderverse to James Gunn universe and was like, this world is dark and mean that Superman inhabits. Like,
This brightly lit, like colorful,
yeah,
where it's daytime all the time.
yeah. I mean, there's a link to his full review, and I'm kind of curious. Uh, a star and a half. Superman, the character is corny, earnest, and kind. Superman, as written and directed by James Gunn, is cool, callous, and cruel. It's an irreconcilable difference the movie cannot overcome. You may not notice this at first, and David Cornsweat, G Wiz temperament to match. Gunn, veteran of all three peppy punk songs, bright primary colors. That includes a lethally comedic game of Russian roulette, an alien baby held hostage in a black site prison. Yes, all Lex Luthor. A robot repeatedly stabbing itself in the head. It's a robot. Crypto the Superdog forced to run endlessly on a treadmill in pursuit of again Lex Luthor. So they hate Lex Luthor being so evil.
Maybe, but I mean, this movie did an excellent job making you hate everyone that was against Superman.
Yeah.
They
One Superman sequence in particular, after Lex Luthor detains Superman, takes him to the aforementioned torture site. Lois Lane teams up with superhero Mr. Terrific to rescue him. Arriving to face a squadron of mercenaries, Mr. Terrific unleashes the protective T-sphere around Lois while he uses a variety of proprietary projectiles to take out the bad guys. They enclose
uh-huh.
us in the sphere with Lois, employing an extended swerving single take to match her perspective as the action swirls around her. 5 years of time to the soundtrack. Fun, fun, fun. It's almost as if Lois is having her own IMAX movie experience. When the carnage is over and the bubble pops, she and we are clearly meant to be wowed, only able to utter an admiring, holy shit, as we gaze upon the bodies, some dead, strewn about. Killing is rarely as clever as it is in James Gunn. Okay, so Mr. Terrific kills people.
Did he? We
Yeah.
never.
I mean, maybe like the stuff he's doing seems lethal. I believe it, but like also he's not Superman. This is
Right.
really weird. I was gonna bring up this point. I didn't know when to bring up this point. There is a sort of escapist fantasy here that I haven't seen since Captain America and the Winter Soldier, where it's like the world is ugly and complicated. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a secret underlying evil that was causing it to be ugly and complicated, and we could bring it to the forefront, and we could put a face on our enemies again and make it simple. Um, but like that's it. That's it. Like Corn Sweat Brosnan seems fully capable of anchoring a decent Superman movie, but aside from an early extended conversation sequence, which means to bring us up to speed on their entire relationship history and dynamics in one scene, they're not on screen together much. No, but their actions are constantly in service of one another. Guns Metropolis hardly seems worth saving, given the jokey violence, petrified pets, bullied women. Poor Sarah Sampaio has to endure endless humiliations as Luthor's girlfriend. Again, as Lex Luthor's girlfriend. This guy's like, Lex Luthor was too evil. Blowhard superheroes. Nathan Fillion also appears as a one note Guy Gardner Green Lantern. Okay. Okay. By the movie's merciful end, okay. All right. Everyone has their own interpretation on a movie, but that just feels like it wildly missed the mark and is just like the bad guy was so bad. How is this a superhero movie? Like,
There's
okay.
a lot of online discourse going on right now about like people not understanding that you can enjoy a piece of media about an awful, morally reprehensible person and not relate to them in any way. That it's like, oh, I really enjoyed the book American Psycho. Oh, you want to kill people? No, I enjoyed the book. And so, like, yeah, the point of Lex Luthor is to enforce that he is not a good person. Also,
Mm,
darkly comedic. The Russian roulette thing, I didn't think that was funny at all.
no, me
I
either.
think it was just look how awful Lex Luthor is.
Yep.
Oh man, they even had the thing of like another big moment for me that was relatively subtle in the movie is when Metamorpho starts to create a sun to heal Superman. The people in the cells around him try to narc on him. Like they try and like, hey, he's doing something bad. You're going to get us all in trouble. It's like he's trying to break you out and end your imprisonment, but you are so Stockholm syndromed that you want the imprisoners to know that someone's trying to let you out. Like, and that is something that happens in the real world, in broader cultural situations that we find ourselves in right now. Sorry.
Hmm.
Go on.
There are some people who I feel like I'm going to move on from Metacritic because the people who are saying like mixed to negative reviews here, uh, it's very bizarre to me. Like a mid review, able to enjoy, but it doesn't bring anything particularly new or groundbreaking to the table. No, it's trying to reboot something so that it can build up to something new. Like that was like the point. What did you expect the movie to be? Just so full of cliches. It will please kids, teenagers, and comic book fans. I guess that's all right. Okay, you find yourself thrust into the 10th episode of a Superman TV series, having missed the first nine. You literally understand nothing. Absolutely
you
untrue. Like
you might.
you've
Yeah.
never seen a superhero movie before. It didn't meet the huge expectations. This one person, uh, dumb, lazy, contradictory with your own logic. Bad guy's supposed to be a fool, but is able to remember an infinite number of codes for different moves. I don't know where he's supposed to be a fool, but a superhero that can create a sun, but is unable to help his son. Who is that
Okay,
referencing?
because those are homophones. It's Metamorpho because they have his son
Oh,
Joey in the other cell.
oh, okay. Um, okay. There's a whole changing Krypton mythology that could be a good idea, but even still, he wears his family shield. Yeah, what's he gonna do? Like they made the costume like that. No, that's not his family shield in this version. That was in the Man
So
of Steel.
here's the thing. What you're reading right now are literally those monkeys that Lex Luthor had working.
It's pretty easy to say that, but yeah, like stupid humor, epic wannabe scenes just so small. Screenplay, almost everything is a step backwards. We have lost a unique tone of voice for the DC universe, and now we just have Marvel wannabe films. The guy made three Marvel films. What do you think? Like, I don't. Okay, yeah, I'm going to IMDb. Um, Metacritic to me too low. Like this is definitely better than that. 68 and like 70s like yeah, it's mid, it's kind of entertaining. It's like come on. Like of all the superhero movies and stuff that's out there, like this was you know, not the greatest thing ever made, but like this was pretty good. Like this is at least a B. Um Let's see, where are you? 7.6 out of 10 IMDb rating. All right, we're getting closer. 169,000 reviews, 22% 10, 15.7% 9, 25% 8, 17% 7, and then they dwindle down. Um, let's see if it actually lets me read them. No, IMDb seems to have uh let me click user reviews. Okay, there we go. 8 out of 10. In a time where the world feels more exhausted than ever, this film reminds us why Superman matters. Yes, thank you. This movie
Yeah.
really surprised me. 9 out of 10. 6.3 that was supposed to be a 10 out of 10. There's no denying expectations were high. A few moments where the movie shines. By the end, I couldn't help but feel let down. The cracks start to show. Story moves too fast. Emotional beats don't land because we never build up to them. We just drop in. Okay, I can see if the pace like bothered you. Like that makes sense. Mr. Terrific is solving problems. He's rescuing people. He's driving the plot forward, and Superman is just kind of there. Disagree. Multiple things, multiple things are happening. Um, Too many characters that felt like they could easily take him out robs the story of awe or scale. If everyone can beat Superman, then what makes him Superman? I'm sorry, who was able to beat Superman?
Well, spoiler, Superman was the only one able to physically overpower Superman.
Superman with Lex Luthor's brain. Yeah.
That's not quite how
Green
I would say
Lantern
that.
and Morph, great additions, barely used, huge missed. What do people think Metamorpho is able to do? Do they think he's able to just like he can turn parts of his body into other elements? Like like I when he is able to fly, he is using his body to fly and couldn't carry his own child. Like what? I don't. They like he has. It felt very clear to me that he has a very limited range of what he can do. But whatever. Um. Okay, so I'm getting some criticisms with like the pacing and with like trying to balance throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like I'm starting to like understand like I can see why some people have like dings against the movie. Like that kind of makes sense. I don't know. What do you think about 7.6 out of 10?
That's a bit low, I think. I mean,
Mm,
no movie is perfect. Is this going to be The Godfather or The Shawshank Redemption or whatever? No, but it's also that I'm a big fan of a series of videos. I'm into firearms, and there's a series of videos about the guy that is the keeper of firearms and artillery for the Royal Armories Museum in the UK.
mm,
And the reason that I enjoy watching it so much is because he understands that sometimes a game needs to be fun.
mm,
And so, like, if he's like, that's not how that gun works in real life, this game is bad. He says, I understand why they did that. That's not how it works in real life, but here's how it would make a game better. I think that's important. With this movie, I am not going to see the Cannes Film Festival winner. I'm going to see a superhero movie, and I'm going to judge it based on the fact that it's a superhero movie. Having been sick and tired of dark, gritty dramas and sick and tired of quip fests, this movie rides the line of seriousness, human interaction, and so on so well
mm.
that I could not. It's at least an 8, at least
Yeah.
an 8 or 8.5 or 85% in my mind.
Which Rotten Tomatoes reflects.
Oh, thank God.
Rotten Tomatoes, all critics is 83%. I don't know what that is. Actually, like 83% said it was good rather than bad. I don't know what the actual review
Right.
is anymore. The top critics, which they've now split out of those, is 71%. So out of 73 reviews is a 71%, but out of 456 it's an 83%. So out of a
Mm.
larger pool, yeah. And they have the same thing. They have verified audience versus all audience. And the verified audience has given it a 4.5 out of 5, 92% rating. And all audience with 25,000 plus ratings has given it an 89%, 4.4 out of 5. And that makes sense to me. That is about where I would put this movie. I have personally been struck harder emotionally and with a ride by other superhero movies. Like this isn't
Mm.
necessarily going to be possibly not even in like my top 10 of all time, but this is a very, very good superhero movie. And the reason it's not in my top 10 is because there are quite possibly hundreds of superhero movies at this point. Like,
Yeah.
um,
And I think it's important to note also, like if I were to give some, I prefer to score things at a scale of 5
mm,
because I don't like to get too granular.
yeah.
Um, Now, understand if I were to give something a 5 out of 5, that doesn't mean it was a perfect movie. It just means that it was like maximally enjoyed
Mm, yep,
for
yep.
whatever reason it might be. Like if I were rating this as a 4, I might give it or out of 5, I might give it a 4. But it'd be somewhere in between, maybe 4.5, if I were to give halves, because it's really good. And the things I've mentioned are also like kind of nitpicky, like the things that bother me. The only thing is like CG is such a ubiquity now. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere. Yeah, the Proton River thing was a little like, what is going on? But
Yeah.
I've seen a lot worse.
Like the
Like
CGI jail stuff to me, all of that is kind of like, well, if this is a wash. Nothing about it particularly stood out to me until you really got to see Superman. Like I'm one of my favorite moment probably of the CGI noise is after he defeats what I'm just gonna call Bizarro Superman, run by Lex Luthor.
you're right. Yeah.
He's
And before, remind me about that in a second. Go on.
He's like, send every drone we have. And Superman is just like, good luck with that. And just blast, like, like obliterates. Like he's like, this is the kind of stuff that has been easy for me. This is the reason why nothing has been able to beat me in 3 years. Like, this is insane. And
Yeah.
that was like a big cheer moment, like for me.
Oh, Superman did straight up kill the engineer. By the way,
Oh my gosh. No,
he straight up
the
killed her.
engineer. Yeah, no, he didn't kill her. Okay, they made a point to say like she still like has a pulse. She's still like
Oh, right. You're
alive
right.
under
You're
there.
right. You're right. You're right.
What killed her was Mr. Terrific and everyone just being like, "We did it. We sewed up the ground."
Oh, right.
Because she's
She's
down
in
in
there
the
somewhere.
castle.
There's this there's this YouTube video I love where it's somebody reacting to like making a smoothie using like a creamsicle popsicle thing.
Yeah,
And so they put the whole stick and everything in there and then they don't cut and like they're just blending it and he's going, "You still got the stick in there. You still got the stick in there." And so that's her like as the thing is like mending, she's just in there. I didn't
yeah,
think about that. Oh my god. Oh, you're right. He didn't kill her.
yeah.
Um uh
We did
also
it. Like,
we did it, Patrick. We saved the city. You're absolutely right. I forgot they were like, she's got a pulse. It's an uninhabited island. That's
yeah.
the same energy to me of like, don't worry, Superman and Batman are fighting that creature on an uninhabited island. Okay, great. Oh,
Oh
my dog
man.
hears something. Um,
Okay. Um,
uh oh,
Letterboxed is
oh God,
rapidly becoming my favorite site for us to go to because instantly
oh boy.
the first review on here is by Patrick Willems, one of my favorite film YouTubers. My big problem is I love everything in it so much that it needs to be an hour longer so I can get more. More Daily Planet, more Clark and Lois. It's overstuffed, but I'm not mad because everything there is good. Cool. Again, I think some of the CGI noise, like whatever, like it's impressive technical filmmaking, but like okay. Uh 4.5 stars. Man, shouldn't the goal of every comic book movie to be to make you glad to be alive? To remind you that you have something worth fighting for. I did feel that. Like this does have the classic feeling of watching a superhero movie makes you feel like I can go into the next week with an energy that like I'm going to try and be a hero in my own life and I'm going to try and be better.
Yeah.
4 stars, your choices, your actions, that's what makes you who you are. 3.5, he's bald and he's torturing people who have hair.
All right. All right. There was one moment in this movie where my wife and I were like, damn, did they have to do that? And that's when they're arresting Lex Luthor and they're like, get this bald son of a bitch out to the whatever.
Leo, right?
Like, what? What? Did they have to do that?
Why did that have to be a thing?
I was like, oh.
Justin Solomon, one of the founders of the Distorting Mirror production company, rated it four
Hmm,
stars. Um,
nice drop.
yeah. Matt Fox from over at the Music City Drive-In and on This Week at the Movies gave it 3.5 stars. He kind of rated this movie as like very mid in the Superman movies that he likes. He's a big fan of like Superman Returns and other movies, and like so kind of a shout out to him. Like I again, the Christopher Reeve Superman movie exists. We've seen Superman have this idealism and hope before. This movie isn't bringing anything necessarily new to the table. I just thought it was a really great ride for what it was, which was never going to be some new, yeah. Oh, 5 stars. Oh my gosh, call me Gal Gadot the way I don't know how to act right now.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
That's so rude, but also hilarious. Um,
Hey, real quick, we
I can't
finished
really
the
find.
Fast and Furious movies.
You did you? Wasn't 10 very interesting and 9 garbage?
I felt the other way around. I felt like 10 was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my entire life.
No, really.
Not
Wait.
I and honestly I don't remember what happened in 9. What
9
was
is
9?
John Cena is his secret brother, and he's in this like tank, and he has superpowers, and he's able to like bust out.
Oh,
Like, yeah,
yeah. That one was fine.
No, it wasn't.
10 was worse. Everything with John Cena in 10, amazing. Everything with what's his name?
Everything
Jason
with
Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
Um,
Oh,
he
see,
was some of his scenes were interesting where he was doing like the
nails of
painting
the
his
dead
nails
by.
and everything, the dead guys. That was cool. That was cute. Everything to do with, oh, I always have another plan up
Yeah,
my sleeve.
yeah,
Aha, because I am a comic book villain. No, no, I am a Rocky and Bullwinkle villain.
yeah.
Um, he just constantly he's outsmarted everyone again. Okay, how, Sway? How? Um, and if you don't know how Sway, Google that sometime. Anyway, two is still the best one by far. Unironically, Too Fast, Too Furious. I'm telling you, I don't remember the last time you watched Too Fast, Too Furious. Oh, and I'm glad that Tyrese got his due in the eighth movie, seventh. I don't
Mm,
remember because I was reminded that he became kind of a joke over the course of the last few movies. And it's like, oh yeah, he straight up murdered people in Too Fast, Too Furious. We forgot about that. Let's have him do that again for a quick second. Because in Too Fast, Too Furious, like the feds roll up, he doesn't hesitate. He pulls out a gun and just starts unloading on the feds. But then he became a joke over the course of the next few movies. Anyway, I'm sorry. We're not talking about Fast and Furious and
yeah.
how 2 is the best movie in the franchise.
Unfortunately, I am not multilingual. So one of the only one-star reviews for Superman that I could find in here is it really boring, jokes each 3 minutes, and there isn't plot. I'm like, okay, all right. You
Okay, no
didn't
plot. Got it.
didn't watch the movie. Okay.
I'm telling you, those monkeys.
Yeah. I would believe it with that yeah. Anyways, Letterboxd gave it 4 out of 5 stars, 4.0. Um
Yeah.
so like yeah, in general I think like Metacritic, which is funny because I associate Metacritic with this different type of audience, and they tend to generally like peg things down. Like IMDb once again kind of fell in that like C average kind of range. That's really hard for a movie to break out of when you have over 100,000 reviews. You're
Mm,
going to end up with the average of what our school grades have told us, like a C is passing or whatever.
yeah.
um but by and large, people are pretty positive on the movie, but not as positive as I think I am on the movie. And it just sounds like not as positive as you are on the movie.
Hey, yeah, I loved this movie.
Yeah. Yep. So, final thoughts. You have final thoughts on Superman?
You should see it if you haven't, because okay, again, I love Superman as a character. He's probably my favorite superhero because he makes me want to be a better person.
Mm,
Because the question of, oh, if I had superpowers, how could I help people, has to become, you do have superpowers.
yeah.
You just don't know what they are. Go help people.
Hmm.
And I realize that's not what everybody gets out of Superman, but anyway, this movie, in the context of other Superman movies, and then I'll go out from there. This movie, that is the closest I think that I've come to seeing a movie where that is the Superman on screen.
Hmm.
That most closely aligns with my interpretation of who Superman is, because he is one of the most powerful superheroes in DC and everything. But like, that's not the point. The point is Superman does good, you do well. To borrow a grammar lesson. The other thing, in terms of just, is it a good movie? Yeah, it's a fun movie with messages that everyone needs to hear, done well.
Yeah.
And that is so
It's a good quote for
hard.
Letterboxd.
Oh, thanks. That is so rare now to just have a competently made movie. Like I literally went back, not super recently and not right after the other, but I watched the Super Mario Brothers movie from the early 90s and I watched the Mortal Kombat movie from the early 90s. They got a lot of flack because they were not like the video games.
Mm-hmm.
Both of those movies are competently made movies. And so by comparison, it's like, oh gosh, well, at least I knew what was happening. I could follow what was going on. I could tell, like, I could see visually what was going on. What the characters did made sense in the context of their characters. That's all I can ask for. This Superman movie is that and more.
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you think of Superman?
I like your take on it. Like uh, David Cornsweet is perfect, like well suited.
And he didn't have to be jacked. He didn't have to be a refrigerator like Henry Cavill was.
Yeah, which um, I, he his speech about waking up every day and just putting one foot in front of the other and trying to be the best person that I can. I live with a lot of anxiety. I struggle
Mm.
with a lot with anxiety. And that to me is one of the most life affirming, positive, mantra inducing messages that I could hope for. And, if the idea of Superman is that the successful story about Superman instills hope in the viewer, that's what made it click for me. And
Excellent.
yeah. So I look forward to watching that character continue to show up as a part of an ongoing universe and maybe an overarching narrative. Like I look forward to when they finally do a Justice League movie that is built over these interesting projects and ideas. Um, it's a very interesting start to a universe. I hope that James Gunn very rarely directs the projects himself.
Mm.
Because I think this was like it definitely was James Gunn's style of movie with all his favorite actors playing with characters that he really cared about. And it's stayed with me, the idea that if he steps into an idea or a character that he's not personally passionate about, he is going to just play with it like it's clay and turn it into something that he likes. And so I really hope that he stays with the projects that he's passionate about and he does not step in and try and be like, well, this is going to be a tentpole movie that's like I'm going to do Justice League because Justice League has to be like the flagpole that a bunch of our separate projects are centered around. I don't want to see his Justice League movie where he doesn't have a passion for Wonder Woman the way he does for Superman.
Mm.
Like that would be my only cautionary thing. But Superman, successful. Yes.
You to quote the tagline of the original, because it was more about like a comment on special effects, but
Mm-hmm.
you will believe a man can fly.
Yeah. Oh, I love the straight up the tagline in this one of "Look up."
Yeah.
It's great.
You know why? Because of those double meanings, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you should look up to Superman, not just because he's 6'4", but because he is a person to
Well,
be
that would make me
admired.
level with.
Well, yeah.
You too. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I'm more of Nicholas Holt, who's just
Okay.
a hair shorter than Superman.
Okay.
Great quote from them. I don't know if you saw
A
it
hair
about.
because he's bald.
Okay, I'm leaving. No, the yeah, boop. But a great quote about like being held by someone larger than you. And Nicholas Holt is a large man, and he said that he never experienced being held by somebody larger than him. And I think his wife suggested, well, ask David, Superman, to hold you, and he did, and he said that it was really comforting and sweet.
Yeah.
Just to like give him a big hug and like hold him. And he said that it felt really good. Just a quick thing about like, hey, everybody, it's okay to care about each other and love each other and hold each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna cut over and ask what Skittles O. Henry is up to.
Skittles O'Henry has been doing almost exclusively just chatting streams, but they've been a
Oh,
lot of fun. Just because I don't have time in the evening to like come back. So it's been morning streams where I just morning Eastern time where I just like do work in Excel spreadsheets and answer emails and stuff while chatting with chat. And it's been
okay.
good. It's been
Yeah. So
enjoyable.
what's been the favorite parts about that? Like what has clicked for you that makes it like engaging?
It's that we can talk about anything at any time. And I'm always willing to talk about anything, literally.
Mhm.
Like some people I mentioned don't like to talk about intimacy. People don't like to talk about bodily functions. People don't like to talk about. I don't care. I'll talk about any of that because we're all human. And it's that strangers will find my stream through the various tags on there, and a couple over the last few days have followed and have come into multiple streams recently and just hung out. And I enjoyed that. A couple people from Ireland, one person from the Midwest, a couple of people from Japan. You know, they just will pop in and say hello. And I was like, I don't even know how you found me, but I'm glad you're here. Off stream, I may 2 years later finally buy the Elden Ring DLC.
Okay.
uh, you know, like because I am video games are my passion. I try and give as little money as possible to that passion,
Mm.
and I love Elden Ring. It's just, and I know the DLC is well made, and if any company deserves my money for a DLC, it's From Software. It's just everything costs money, and I can't prioritize buying that DLC. And then in another 2 years, I'll play the Elden Ring game that came out this year, Night Rain, which is sort of like Fortnite in Elden Ring. That is
And in
not a
another two
joke.
years, we're gonna watch
I'll watch Superman.
what you
um,
call it? No, what's his name? He wrote 28 Years Later. He directed Civil War, Ex Machina, Annihilation,
oh gosh,
Alex.
Alex Winter. Is there another Alex Winter movie? Oh no.
um, Garland. Alex Garland.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
is making an Elden Ring movie.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how that's gonna be. Because like Elden Ring's story is not traditional.
Yeah.
In that like the point is just like any From Software game, if you want the story, it's there. And if you don't want the story, you don't have to pay attention. In that like all the story is in like item descriptions. So if you pick up an item and you want to know more, read the description and a character is going to show up and say something cryptic and you're going to be like, wait, what? And then they literally, one of them literally T poses and disappears. Um, Technically she A poses, but whatever. That's where you do this instead of this.
Yeah.
Oh no, people are going to figure out I'm on a green screen, not actually in a pixelated sunset. Um, but I'm always cautiously optimistic about video game based movies. Some of them, like Uncharted, like it's a natural fit. It's like it's meant to be an action movie, so we might as well make an action movie.
Mm,
Others, such as the Battleship movie, that was a board game, but still,
yeah.
um, it's like,
It's interesting. Like there's always that argument that a video game made to be like a movie, all you're doing by making the movie is taking away the interactive element.
yeah.
But like I liked Uncharted. I really liked that Tomb Raider movie they made based off of this
Mm.
stuff. Um, I really liked that Mortal Kombat movie that came out in like 2021 that we're finally getting a sequel to. So I'm
I
excited
didn't
about
see it.
that.
I like stuff like that. You'd think I love video games and I enjoy movies and I don't know.
Yeah.
A lot happened since 2020 and I just haven't been able to catch up.
Yeah.
To be honest.
um, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and let me put on the record, I love Annihilation.
Yeah.
I love Annihilation. I hate Ex Machina. I hate that movie. Most of it was super intriguing. I can't watch it again.
Yeah.
Like my wife was like, "Oh, what if this is what the ending is?" And I was like, "Oh, wow, that's such a cool idea." It wasn't that. it was the future is scary and smart people are perverts. You should be scared of the future. Uh, um, and
Civil War is great. You should see
I
that.
like. You're talking about Civil War, not Captain America Civil War. You're talking about Civil War. Civil War.
No,
A little too
yes.
close to home, no pun intended.
And then I never watched Men. That's another movie he made that has like weird mixed reviews. Like
Oh, that's the A24.
yeah.
I think that's probably a movie all men should see. Kind of like Silence of the Lambs,
Mm,
where it's like, oh, why are all the men looking at her like that?
yeah.
Because that's what women go through
Mm,
all the time.
mm.
It's like that. Now, I haven't seen Men, but
See, the
that's
movie
how it
gets a
feels.
lot of flack, even from people who would support that point of view, because it was written by Alex Garland. It's written from a male perspective, trying to
Mm.
speak for women. And a lot of people don't feel like it particularly landed in a satisfying way. But so that's the only reason I haven't really checked it out is because it's like if I'm gonna watch a movie that's deliberately meant to make me feel uncomfortable and people don't think it's successful, like I kind
Right.
of like but Civil War was amazing. So um
I'll watch that in another 2 years.
yeah,
Um,
cool.
before we get around to something else.
All right. All right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up. I will just say one thing I'm really excited about because of Guy Gardner is Lanterns, the TV show with Kyle Chandler and the new guy that they have playing Jon Stewart. And there's a lot going on in the world and it's really rough, so everybody hang tight. And look
And
up.
look up.
Yeah.